Welcome to Steel City News. I'm Shawn Hellman. We got a chance this weekend to check out the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix down at Healey Park. It was actually in the golf course area, and there was just so much to see. There were over 2,500 vehicles on display with the International Car Show and the National Car Show, along with food vendors, a race going on. It was just a great time. And we got a chance to speak with some interesting car folks. We're down here at the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix at Healey Park. We got a race going on behind us, and there are so many cars here. We've been hiking over the hills in the park, and we're going to head over and talk to some people.
Lonnie Lenarduzzi,
okay,
with the Tom Vale Racing Team.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about the car behind us?
Yeah, this is a 1974 Ferrari Dino, and it is a track car. We race it at lots of events this part of the country. We were at the last race was at the PIR racetrack where we raced this car. It's kind of unique in that not many people race this car anymore because it's become too valuable. But we're tracking it all the time, so it gets a lot of use.
Okay, so how long have you been involved with Ferraris and
I've been involved in making Ferrari performance parts, mainly ignition systems, for almost 40 years. So I'm retired now, and all I do is play with vintage cars. So I joined this race team so I could be around the cars, and I just love working on them and going to the races, and we have a lot of fun doing it.
All right, great. Yeah. So all of this line of cars, these are from the race team?
No, most of these cars are street cars. Okay, so this particular car is unique in that it is a race car. There are a few race cars here on display. It's not the kind of car that we really race at this venue, so we're just showing it.
Jerry Contouris from North Braddock, Pennsylvania.
All right, great. So can you tell us about the car behind us?
Sure, it's a 1972 Di Tommaso Pantera Pre L. And the Pre Ls came with steel bumpers instead of the 5-mile-an-hour bumper, plastic bumpers.
Okay, very nice. So what got you into this car? What got you interested in this car?
Well, when I was a young kid, a guy across the street from where I worked owned a Pantera, and late at night he'd be coming home and I'd hear him going up the hill, and I always wanted to have one. And I started restoring cars about 25 years ago. And I decided, well, I'd like to possibly restore a Pantera too, and so I have. I've done a couple of them now.
Okay, so you've done a few. Now, how long does it take to restore a car like this typically?
I'm not quite normal at that. It usually takes me about 6 months.
Okay, wow.
So yeah, because I'll work exclusively on just one car at a time, and I get it done, and then I move on to the next project.
Hi, I'm Gwen Lewis from Ron Lewis Alfa Romeo.
Okay, so can you tell me what's behind us right here?
Absolutely. This is the 2017 art car that we designed. It's a 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia, and because Alfa Romeo was chosen as the mark of the year at the Italian section, we wanted to do something really big and special. Also to mark its arrival on the Pittsburgh market. So I'll tell you a little bit about how we did this car. It's a brand new Giulia, and we dipped it with a company called 304 Dips out of Morgantown. Okay. So they dipped a black Giulia, and then an artist named Dave O'Brien, DaveO'BrienArt.com, he came along and did some acrylic painting over top, and then the other day in Market Square, he painted it live. We chose Dave because his art really focuses on Pittsburgh icons. So he really did an Andy Warhol here, but he's done paintings of all kinds of icons, sports icons, steelworkers, Andrew Carnegie, Warhol. So we felt that really embodied the spirit of Pittsburgh and the Giulia. So you can see some of the detail that he did, and really check out the glasses of Andy, because I think that's really something special. We haven't exactly worked out the tour yet, but we'll be announcing it on social media where it'll be next. So if you didn't get a chance to see it here at the Grand Prix, you might still get a chance over the next couple months.
Glenn Ford.
Okay, so can you tell us about the Corvette behind us?
I can. I've owned it for 47 years. My father gave me this car when I was 13. 3 boxes of parts, no engine, no transmission. Paid $400 for it. He said, if you want a car at 16, build it. So my dad and I put it together, drove it for 35 years. I could paint it any color I wanted. as long as it was white. So for 35 years it was white. At that point it was tired. My 3 kids and I spent 5 years taking the body out the frame, and I was going to paint it any color but white. I was tired of white. 54s came red, white, or blue, so we chose blue and did all the work ourselves. And the kids, the 11-year-old son painted the steering column, the 12-year-old daughter painted the wheels, and the 17-year-old son and I did all the rest of the body work and paint.
Ron George from Center Township.
Okay, can you tell me about your car?
63 Studebaker Avante. I'm the 3rd owner. I just turned 61,000 original miles on it. It's a supercharged 4-speed, and it's an original Avante. They made them in 63 and 64.
Jack Norsik.
Okay, so can you tell me, what do we have behind us?
This is a 1930 Model A Ford. Very common automobile, built between 1928 and 1931. They built 4 million of them, and there's about 700,000 of them still available, still out there running. So, a very common car.
So what got you into this car?
I had a ride in one when I was 8 years old, and I said, I'm going to have one myself. So I like to share it. That's why I bring it out.
Carol Vivaldi.
Okay, so tell me about Thunderbird behind us.
Well, I've been the owner for 22 years, and it's originally a California car, and the color is called Coral Sand. It's an original color. It has a 312 V8 engine, and it's just quite a car. It has a hard top and a soft top. The soft top is black, so the hard top is removable, and the interior is black and white, which is original to the Coral Sand color, which was a popular color in California. The bright colors on the Thunderbirds were popular in the Sunshine States, Florida or California. And I have the original window sticker for this car from California, and it sold in 1957 for $3,500.
Jack Fussenegger.
Okay, so can tell me about your car.
Well, it's a 1957 Austin Healey. This is kind of a wolf in sheep's clothing. It looks like a Healey. It is a Healey, but it's pretty much a race car. It's got 559 horsepower. It's got a tube chassis underneath it. Very reliable. It's the latest in race car stuff, but it's very streetable. It's a fun ride, real fast. Weighs about 2,000 pounds. It's got 560 horsepower.
So what got you into this car?
I've been a gearhead all my life. I actually bought this car in, I think, 1962, 63. And as far as the Austin Healeys are concerned, in 1957 was kind of like the doggiest year, not because of looks, but because the drivetrain, first year of the 6-cylinder. So I decided to put a V8 in it and been messing with it ever since.
Tom Feltz.
Okay, so can you tell me about the Jaguar right here?
This is a 1966, we call it XKE, and when it originally came out, it was an E-Type. That's the way the British did them, or named them at that time. Yeah. We've had it for 27 years. We spent a lot of money getting it to this condition, and we take trips in it. We love it, needless to say.
Beautiful car. So what got you into this particular car?
Well, way back in the old days, we got a brand new one, and we sold it 4 years later, and we always wanted another one, and we saw this one up in Sarver in a barn actually, and we bought it, and many months and dollars later, this is what we have. You got to have a passion for the cars, and we always have.
Cliff Wagaman from Greensburg, PA.
Okay, great. So tell me about the car that's behind us.
This is a 1973 Volkswagen Thing. They only sold these 2 years in the United States, 73 and 74, and most people don't know that they were actually assembled in Mexico. This one's been restored to as original, and it only has 35,000 original miles. Basic, the pan and some of the steering components are from Carmagia. The engine's a Type 1 regular Beetle 1600 engine, and They probably only sold in the United States 5,000 of these. They were, at the time, they were $27.75 when you could get a new Beetle for $2,100. They never really sold well.
Okay, wow. So what got you into Beetles?
Oh, my grandfather bought a 1957 Beetle when I was 8 in 1959, and he was a Beetle fanatic. And so I grew up hearing about how great these cars were. So after I graduated college in '72, we've had some Beetle type car ever since.
Matt Mustafa, Senior Product Manager from BMW North America.
Okay, can you tell me, what do we have behind us?
So this is our Performance Meister M4. It's actually based off of the concept of the 2002 Turbo Meister that we had in the 70s racing car. This one specifically is a 2018 M4 is the base. We wrapped it in the orange and yellow as you see here, and we have a number of our M Performance parts on it as well.
Ted Kelman.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about the car behind us?
Sure, it's a 1989 Alpina B10 from Alpina Manufacturing. It's number 237 of 572. It was built from 1989 to 1992, which is the model run for that car. Right now, as far as I know, it's the only one in the U.S. with a 5-speed, but there's about 10 or 12 of them in Canada from all the importers from Japan. I bought it in 2010 out in Vancouver, British Columbia, and I drove it back from there in 2010 across I-90 without a cell phone back to Toronto.
Steve Mendenhall in my 1968 Camaro. It's been chopped, sectioned, and channeled. It has an LS6 in it. All the custom work was done by Bruce Harvey at ProComp Customs in Glenshaw. Very happy with the car, very happy with what he gave me. From the interior all the way down to the wheels, it is pretty much custom, one-off, and we have not found another one in the world that has this much modification done to it.
All right, very, very, very nice. So what got you interested in this? Is this the first car that you worked with like this? Or
no, I have been in cars since I was 14 years old. This is the first car that I've ever went this far with and done this much custom work to. And it's been great. The car's been a hit, and we absolutely love to drive it. So it's awesome.
My name is Lauren Boback.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about the car?
So this is our 1972 Mercedes 280 SE. We're about the third owners of it. Bought it out in Oil City about 5 years ago, and it has AccuAir air suspension on it.
Very nice. So what got you into the Mercedes?
Well, how can you not enjoy it? The front end presence, sitting in the car, seeing the fender, the emblem, it's fantastic. But I guess we've just evolved into Mercedes people over time as well.
Okay, are you into cars in general?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have quite a few different kinds, but mostly Mercedes right now.
Shawn OBrien. I run a automotive art company, and we laser etch wood and aluminum as well. We have a spot up in Vendor Village. You can find me at www.autotechlasering.com. We'll be here all day till 5 p.m. We're raffling off a 2-foot by 4-foot wood engraving of a RWB Porsche. So it's some exciting stuff.
With over 2,500 vehicles on display at the National and International Car Show, we put together a compilation video of some additional vehicles that we may not have shown earlier in the program. So that's going to be coming up next. But first we wanted to tell you and everyone out there that on Wednesday mornings, we're going to do a broadcast talking about some of the events that are going to be coming up in the upcoming weekend so that you can plan ahead. So look forward to that and head over to Steel City News, our Facebook page, and give us a page like, and then you'll be able to keep up with these events that are happening before they actually happen so that you can go there and have a good time. So without further ado, here's our compilation of some additional car stuff. If you like what we're doing covering positive news in the greater Pittsburgh area, head over and like our page, Steel City News. We appreciate your support.